This triangle seems like the ultimate weapon.
I join sci-fi and pop culture's newest sensation.
How could you say such a thing? I was being purely professional.
Dead and Buried Treasures, where it's more than just an old movie.
Tell me over some wine to celebrate?
It's a classic. 4 stars. It's incredible and amazing, and really delivers.
Look at her. She's still talking. Probably about her therapist.
No, Captain, you don't know that.
Oh, yeah?
And my therapist even told me it would be good for me.
The show really has a chiller theater vibe.
I can't believe me eyes!
It's comedic and spooky, and blew me out of the water.
Identify yourself, or I'll be forced to sink your ship.
Oh, yeah, and somehow we've pissed off Batman, and he's about to sink our ship.
Dead and Buried Treasures and its sister shows, Walk the Plank and The Pirate's Booty, where it's Halloween all year long.
Can you sing Under the Sea?
No.
Part of your world?
No.
Kiss the girl?
No.
Well, then how would she even know you're a mermaid?
Do you think mermaids just sit around all day and sing songs like in The Little Mermaid?
Don't you?
For a complete listing of news on where you can see the show, check out the Dead and Buried Treasures Facebook.
I mean, have you seen our show, Jack? Even I regret it. And I host it. Who was that?
I have no idea. Never seen her before in my entire life.
Well, how is that possible? I know we have a big crew and everything, but how do I and my first mate not know a beautiful woman like that?
Previously on Dead and Buried Treasures.
My name is Calico. I am what your culture might refer to as a sea goddess. You really don't remember, do you? Think harder.
Status, Mr. Bones.
She hasn't moved. She hasn't communicated in any way other than a distress signal.
We were slowly approaching.
Captain, that was months ago.
Months?
Can't you remember a battle?
What battle?
The ship you approached under that flag of truce was a Trojan horse. Your greatest enemy was on board with 2 other vessels nearby. Cloaked, the man with no face hit you from both sides with 2 invisible ships. You lost. I'm giving you a second chance. I am sending you back. You need to win that battle. It's imperative.
We do? Why?
It will have repercussions throughout history for everyone.
What happened the first time that we would need to change?
You must put your ego aside and not rely on strength, but cunning. You are the only one who knows of the location of the island of Dead and Buried Treasures. With the island under his control, he can summon anything and anyone to do his bidding. Godzilla, a lightsaber, Lord Voldemort, any weather-controlling device you've seen from the Bond movies, even the Empire from Star Wars. You need to win that battle.
Travel back in time? It, Jack? I mean, have we time traveled? Is this the distress signal we encountered before?
I don't know. There is something very familiar about all of this. Maybe this is the moment in time we needed to relive, sir. Maybe this is the moment.
She She hasn't moved. She hasn't communicated in any way other than the distress signal.
Captain, this does feel very familiar.
What do we do to avoid doing what we did before if we can't remember doing what we did before?
Still no response from our hails, but their distress signal is automatic. I'm still receiving it, but nothing else.
Well, we better figure it out fast, Captain. The alternative isn't pleasant.
I know. Apparently we are ambushed, lose the battle, and somehow become brainwashed by this man with no face that Calypso spoke of. Did they sink the haunt?
Getting a message now. The unidentified ship says her radio is out and she is unable to respond other than Morse.
What is the correct command here, Captain?
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 Good evening, me hearties, and welcome to Dead and Buried Treasures. I apologize for not welcoming you in a more formal fashion, but I should be able to welcome you in a more horrific fashion if that's what you prefer. We're about to die.
Captain, a word?
Just a second, me hearties. We might be at war here. Good times, right, Jack?
Not really, Captain. We're sinking.
Well, that's what happens when someone decides to puncture holes in your ship. Engineering.
Engineering, this is Morgan.
Status, Mr. Morgan.
Apologies, Captain. We still aren't used to this 21st century technology upgrade. Still working out the kinks. I don't know what hit us, but it hit us hard. Damn it. Jock was correct. The haunt is sinking.
Pumps?
It'll save us some time, but the end result will be the same. It will only give us so long.
Very well. Monitor the situation. Drake out. At the very least, the sea will sink all this computer and battle mode stuff Mr. Bones has going on. I can't even see him buried behind all those computers.
Absolutely, Captain. The crew have other responsibilities, but this is mine only because I'm the only one who can handle it.
Oh, you mean like the unimportant stuff, like the bilge pumps and the fire crews? Yeah, you should probably continue drinking your Shasta Cola.
Is that any good, Captain?
Not really for me. Well, Mr. Bones, I always thought you had a screw loose to begin with, so do what you can while we prepare to abandon ship. In any case, we received a distress signal from a ship at sea, and once we arrived, it all went dark. You'd think that a ship who wanted to be rescued would be grateful, but not this one.
Oh, God! They shot our ship down quicker than a Bella Thorne's OnlyFans site!
That they did. But then we were hit from both sides by different cloaked ships. 2 of them, to be exact.
Thus, my analogy.
Captain! Captain! Have you noticed?
Noticed? Noticed what? The bombing stopped.
Confirm, Mr. Bones. Status?
Yes, the bombing has stopped, Jack, but we're still retaining water. We're taking on more water than we can pump out.
Why waste ammunition when you can let the sea do its job?
There's another incoming hail, Captain.
Report.
It's a It's a request to discuss terms of our surrender, Captain.
Captain, another 10 minutes and the bow will be below sea level. The pumps can't keep up.
Well, we gave it our best, Jack. That's all any pirate can do, right? I have to think of me crew. Do it.
Captain?
We surrender. Do it before we sink. We can still save the lives of every man and woman on this ship. Perhaps the island was wrong about us. Perhaps we're not the chosen ones that we thought we were. Mr. Bones, tell me more about this Bella Thorne woman again.
Jack, have we ever surrendered?
No, not that I recall.
It would appear we don't have much choice, Mr. Bones. Outgunned, outmanned, sinking. But there are alternatives to brute force. Do it now, before it's too late. We surrender. As for you, me hearties, no need to get mushy. We'll put the pieces back together here.
Yes, while we arrange the deck chairs on the Titanic.
While you get to tonight's movie, Fangs of the Living Dead. At least it has lesbian vampires in it. What a way to go out.
How can you, Captain? We're sinking. Down we go.
So will they. We'll be right back in about 20 minutes. Unfortunately, our ship might not be here, and it more than likely will be as prisoners on the very ships that ambushed us, if at all. Ow! Damn it, Mr. Bones!
That wasn't me, Captain.
Then what the hell was it? Never mind. Perhaps a piece of the ship is going down faster than the rest. Enjoy me, mateys. We might be back.
Dr. Luciani, you're wanted on the telephone. It's your fiancé.
Excuse me, Dr. Albert. I'll only be a moment. Hello, Sylvia.
Oh, hello, Piero. Are you very busy?
I've got a few fractures.
Does it hurt?
No, what I meant is I'm working on 3 x-rays that show breaks or fractures.
Oh, listen. I want to tell you about something fantastic that happened to me. It's incredible. Can you come to Coma's Club? What do you both know about me?
Well, almost everything. That you're the most beautiful model in Italy.
And that in a couple of weeks, you're going to have the honor of marrying me. Is that enough?
Nope, that's not enough. There's something much more important you have to know. Hang on.
I'm hanging.
Seems like I am the Countess Waldrock. And I'm the owner of a castle.
And you start the day with cognac.
Ooh. Here. Read that.
What is it?
It's a letter from my uncle. He's the executor of my mother's will.
My dear niece, I am pleased to inform you that you have now the right to everything that your mother has left you. Good Lord, we've got to decipher it. What writing?
It certainly is weird.
Oh, that's enough, darling. The rest just goes on to explain that I'm now the owner of a castle and a title.
Hey, Piero, you're going to marry a countess.
Look, maybe it sounds like a practical joke.
No. It's just something I never told you about before. It seemed so ridiculous, but I did know that my mother came from a very aristocratic family in Waldrock.
Was it your father who told you that?
Vaguely. He never liked to talk about my mother. They separated a few months after I was born.
All right, Countess. What are you going to do now?
Right now, at this moment, I am going to give Pierre a great big hug.
Hey, this is a respectable joint.
What are you going to do now?
I'm going there.
Where?
To Waldrock. To collect the castle and all the rest of it.
Just a moment. I hope you're aware that our wedding is in 2 weeks.
Oh, darling, don't worry. I don't intend to keep you waiting at the church. I've got enough time to go, sign the necessary documents, have a drink, and still be back in time to try on my wedding dress.
Welcome to Waldrock. Would you like a drink?
Yes, a whiskey, please.
Sorry, no whiskey. Only cherry brandy, vodka, Tokay wine, oh, and some excellent beer.
All right, a beer is good.
That's what I always say. Nothing better than beer to wash away the dust flying around our old roads.
No, one will be enough for the moment.
Oh, I'm taking the liberty of drinking a glass myself. You don't mind? Long life.
Long life.
Where are you from?
From Rome.
From Rome. How I'd love to see Rome.
Why don't you go then?
No, she can't. She can't take a trip like that all alone.
Why? Is she ill?
Oh, I don't know. Only she gets weaker and weaker. Are you staying long?
No, just about a week.
Don't expect all the comforts you find in Rome. Rugart, what are you doing? Put the lady's suitcase in the front room.
Oh, don't bother. I'm not staying here.
Where do you plan to stay then?
At the castle. I'm one of the family.
Then you counted?
I don't understand. What's happening?
Miss Sylvia Morel. The Count is expecting you.
Where is my uncle?
The Count, Miss Morel, never appears at this early hour. You will see him at 10 tonight. Upstairs, please.
I haven't brought much clothing with me. I only plan to stay for a few days. What's my uncle like? He's probably very handsome, isn't he? No, don't tell me. I want to be surprised. This happened all so sudden. Me, all alone, without a family. Then, all at once, an uncle with a castle. And you know, I like it having an uncle. As for the rest of it, well, I suppose it's all right as a museum, but as a place to live in, it's pretty much a big pile of stones. Don't you think so? Don't you agree? Look. No. Nothing.
My dear Sylvia. So sorry, it's a very cold night.
What an extremely handsome uncle I have. Why have you been silent for so many years?
It never seemed to be the right moment.
I could never imagine my family owned all this.
Your ignorance is not my fault. Your father did take you away from us. That fool.
My father is dead.
I know. Did he ever talk to you about your grandmother?
No. Not about my mother. When I asked him, he became very angry. And then, of course, he drank much too much.
Come with me.
One could almost say that.
It's your grandmother, Malenka. And you're the image of her, Sylvia. The same beauty born of mystery. I hope I haven't shocked you.
Aren't you eating with me, Uncle?
Please forgive me, but I have an appointment for dinner later.
A good excuse of keeping your figure. Tell me, did you love my grandmother very much?
She was very, very beautiful, as you are. And she still would be if those stupid peasants hadn't...
What's the matter?
One day soon I'll tell you the whole story. And then you will hate them as I do. At one time they were servants, and they showed respect in our presence. But the glorious days of the past will return. You are here now. You will continue our family tradition.
The truth of the matter, Uncle, is that...
Did you receive the ring?
Yes. But it was much too big for me.
Well, I'll have it made smaller. It belonged to the founder of our family. And you know, there are those who say that it is more than a simple ring, much more. They attribute to it magical powers.
But we're not superstitious, are we, Uncle?
Your mother also. did not believe.
Believe what?
I'd rather speak of that some other time. In a week, you'll know all there is to know about Waldrook.
Listen, Uncle. I know nothing about my mother. What was she like? How did she die?
Toward the end, she was rather disturbed. She wanted very much to go to Rome to find you.
Why didn't she come? Because of Father?
Because of me.
What? Because of you. I don't understand.
It wasn't entirely her fault. She didn't realize that her particular nature made it quite impossible for her to mingle with other human beings.
Why not?
My dear Sylvia, I owe you a long explanation, but not tonight, please. It's very late, and I told you I had an appointment.
Please, Uncle. At least tell me how my mother died.
Of melancholy.
Where is she buried?
Here. In the castle crypt.
May I see her tomb, please?
Come with me.
Do you always keep this lit?
Yes, in memory and in respect. Because veneration of the dead indicates our preoccupation with the living.
These are the important ones, aren't they?
They are your own family.
Antoine Latour, Cavalry Officer, 1798-1840. Who was he?
A very famous ancestor of yours. He was an officer in Napoleon's army. On the retreat from Moscow, he arrived here badly wounded. He was the second husband of the first Countess of Waldrook.
Were they happy?
Their time together was short. She really died and is resting forever in silence.
I don't understand. You mean that the others aren't really dead? Is this Mother's? Sonia Latour von Waldrook, 1913-1944. My father's name is important too.
You must never forget that here I make the decisions. Our family name is Warwick.
I want you to know that I'm proud of being Gaston Morel's daughter, even though he was only a poor painter.
You must be very tired. All of this has been enough for one day. Why don't you go to your room, my dear?
Yes. Who's there? Who are you?
I am Glinka. A long time ago, the Count was in love with me.
Do you live here with my uncle?
Do you really think he's your uncle? A man who is over 100 years old.
100? Now, really? You choose a time like 5 in the morning to come to my room to tell me such nonsense?
Sylvia, why are you so angry with me? You have a temper. Just like your mother.
Did you know my mother?
She was very blonde and very sad.
Living in a place like this doesn't exactly make you want to go around singing and dancing. Were you a friend of my mother?
No. He would never allow me to get near her. At night, he would lock her in this very room.
Did she die here?
Yes. He was never able to dominate her. Sonia remained his enemy to the very end. It all would have been different if only he'd have allowed me to be near her.
Why did he lock her up?
He wants you to do what Sonia refused to do.
What are you talking about?
You will know in time. You will know. Try not to worry about it. Now, I'm here, so close to you. You must sleep, Sylvia.
I am sleepy.
Sleep. Sleep peacefully, Sylvia. I'm here. Here with you. You're not frightened. Glinka will look after you. Glinka loves you. Loves you very, very much. Sleep now, sleep. Sleep.
I told you not to do that!
I haven't done anything. I haven't touched her. I swear it. Where are you taking me? I won't go near her again. I promise you. No, not down there, no. Please, believe me, I won't. No. No, please. No! 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 Oh, please!
me?
Nothing, I swear it. Nothing.
You lie!
Oh, no, nothing at all. I swear it. Oh,
She didn't do anything. She was very kind to me. Please let her go.
She was very kind to you. You heard her. I have to let you go.
she never should have seen me this way. She'll always be afraid of me now. You shouldn't have.
It seems that I should tell her who you are.
And you.
Yes, who we are.
Welcome back, mateys. The haunt is about sunk. We'll be underwater in just a few minutes. Jack, it looks as though Calypso's warning won't be coming true. She said we would have the opportunity to relive this moment in time, but nothing has changed.
Captain, she did say we would have the opportunity, but perhaps we have to make that opportunity.
Jack?
Well, she put us here, but nothing changed.
Because everything she said was hogwash.
Captain, you mean you didn't change anything you did in your strategy?
Jack, I'm not going to change my battle strategy because some nincompoop tells me my ego would get in the way.
Yes, but, did it not?
Jack, I hate it when you're smart. Maybe I'd do it differently if I had it to do one more time.
Maybe you can, Captain.
What do you mean?
Maybe we have to make our own opportunity. Maybe we have to create the prospect. After all, Calypso said we were on a ship filled with enchanted movie props, sir. Perhaps we have to make that opportunity, Captain.
What we need is a time machine, Jack. But we'll never get the Back to the Future DeLorean up to 88 miles per hour on this deck, and H.G. Wells' time machine is probably underwater by now. But Jack, I'm a genius.
Of course you are.
I know what's not underwater. Mr. Bones, try to keep us afloat with the pumps as best you can. I have an idea, the both of you. I'll be right back.
Oh, sure, Captain. Why not? I'll just use my magic wand. Unpause dictation. And to my cousin, Uncle Hector, I leave my comic book collection, most of which has fairly great value.
What are you doing, Mr. Bones?
Pause dictation. Recording my last will and testament, Jack. You know, we're facing death, so for my relatives, you know, my skeleton family, they deserve to divvy up my stuff after I'm gone.
Who is Uncle Hector? Did I ever meet him?
I think so, at the picnic from last summer. You remember Uncle Hector from the movie Coco? He got famous fast, but he deserved that role. Now, let's see, where was I? Oh, yes, unpause. And I, being of sound mind, blah, blah, blah. To Johnny Blaze, a.k.a. Ghost Rider, that ridiculous alter ego you came up with, your head on fire. Seriously, you couldn't come up with a better shtick than that to make your money? But whatevs, I leave you my video game collection on PS4. 3, 2, 1, the new version, but not Assassin's Creed. That goes to Jack Skellington, who I can guarantee will at least wear a tux or something dress-worthy to my funeral. That was always his favorite.
Well, you had a lot of famous people in your family.
Pause. Oh yes, I learned TV seemed to follow a lot of us around when I got to this century. Look at me! Television was our true calling, mostly because it's hard to find skeletons that could do what we do, with exception to that identity thief in the Poltergeist movies.
Poltergeist?
Oh yes, he was no skeleton, he just looked like one. Wannabe. Let's see where I was. Oh yes, unpause. And finally, to Skeletor and Red Skull, my favorite descendants, I leave my 8-track tape collection, although you will have to find something to play it on. Otherwise, you'll have to pry the player away from my nephew, the Crypt Keeper, who, quote-unquote, borrowed it. Yeah, I'll be getting that back.
Well, if you're throwing in the towel, maybe I'll profess my undying love to Annette.
Pause. Oh, Annette, last week it was Gertie. You don't know who you love.
Well, after Gertie turned into that Pharaoh princess and kidnapped me, it tarnished her image for me just a bit.
Oh, that did it, huh? You didn't like her anymore?
Oh, no, on the contrary. That's when it started. I like the rough stuff.
Oh, well, when did it start with Annette?
No, I'm just fickle. I like her Pittsburgh accent, I think.
Accents do it every time. I once walked into a bar and heard 3 Scottish accents from 3 lovely ladies.
What happened?
Huh? Oh, I said, "Good evening, ladies. Are you 3 from Scotland?" And the one woman says to me, "It's Wales, you dumbass." So I apologized and replied, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you 3 whales from Scotland?" And that's the last thing I remember.
Got it.
Got what, Captain?
I was thinking about what you said, Jack. We might have to make our own history. So I brought this prop back from the keel. It might be the only thing that can save us, if Calypso is right.
What is it?
The Time Turner, from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. What is the line, Jack? You like that movie.
When in doubt, I find that retracing our steps a wise place to begin. Dumbledore said it.
Of course, it's just a prop.
Captain, now? We're going back in time now? Does that even work?
You could stay here, Mr. Bones, and learn how to doggy paddle.
Or get captured.
Fine, I'll go. Twist my arm.
Oh, suddenly I love the time travel idea. Go ahead, say it.
We're going back in time now?
What's the rule, Jack?
Well, we all have to be wearing the time turner chain.
Well, I'm not wrapping myself in a chain with him.
You should be so lucky.
Let's hope it's a 6-foot rule like COVID. What's the incantation, Jack?
3 turns should do the trick, and Dumbledore finds that retracing our steps is the best way to begin.
Very well. Hang on, gentlemen. We have one shot at this. Think happy thoughts. 1, 2...
Captain, why is my
3.
lab suddenly underwater?
You know, Captain, I'm not really sure if I'm...
Whoa, what the hell? Here we go! Are you friggin' kidding me, Drake?
This figures so much. Gertie always hated me. I knew it. She knew I was a snappier dresser, stealing her stupid thunder. Chief Bitterman, please make sure there's room left in one of the life rafts. I've been abandoned on the bridge.
Sure.
As for you, be glad you're not here to see the haunt sink. Enjoy what's left of these commercials, and I'll see you back here in 10, I hope.
How would they do that? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of cool.
Here we are for a little behind-the-scenes tour of Dead and Buried Treasures. I probably look significantly different than Captain Calico Drake I do. When I started Dead and Buried Treasures, it was basically me in pirate makeup, introducing a movie with some kind of joke. And that evolved into, I needed somebody to talk off of. So I did it as a matter of convenience because one day I was walking through the Target store and I found in a toy aisle the cockatoo, Jack, that I turned into Jack. And he said a bunch of voices and moved around, but he didn't say anything I could play off of, and I really wanted something that I could have a discussion with. And this happened around 2019, just when we were starting to get into COVID. And we were doing everything for Dead and Buried Treasures out of my house anyway, or out of our individual houses. You know, you couldn't go out. I didn't want everybody coming to the house. I didn't want to go to the studio, and I was already set up at the house, and I figured, well, I'll just do the voice myself. So, you know, birds always go, ah, and then I just
ended up talking like this one day.
You know, and
it was a lot of fun, and it was easy.
So I ended up doing Jack.
So do you have any Rolaids, Captain, or Pepto-Bismol? Pirate code is very specific. When the captain is gone, the quartermaster becomes the captain. But there does appear to be a message inside it, Captain.
And then I needed another voice to blend in with, another pirate, so it's more than just me and a bird. So I invented the navigator, Davy Bones. And I needed something that was completely anti-pirate, because as Captain Drake, I was like, welcome to me show, and all you scallywags out there, it's great of you to keep watching, but I just can't do it by myself. So I needed something like an opposite voice that's recognizable, and that's not so manly and pirate-like.
So I came up with Davy Bones, which is just about as anti-pirate-like as you can get. Fridays. No one goes to Fridays anymore. Try Applebee's. Or there's a Cracker Barrel at the intersection of Route 19 and Interstate 70. Yes, I talked with Chef Papa, and he said it would be no problem, Jack. Chicken cacciatore.
And then the voices just kept coming. I'd just sit there one day and I'd start running through voices.
Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper now! What's wrong with you? You don't understand this? You don't understand this simple English? I don't understand why you don't understand.
There's only a Pew 36 explosive space modulator. That creature has stolen the space modulator.
No match with your pitiful band of rebels. Let me introduce you to this fully functional Death Star.
Shazam, Shazam, Shazam!
Well, you didn't have to have no book smarts. You just had to have something upstairs that was functioning.
Certainly! That's the best way to do it, yeah!
You know, where you want me to put that part? I brought that part all the way from the Walmart, and you're telling me that I can't sit it in your driveway?
Bitty, 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 bitty. My good buddy Buck.
You know, mimicking is the sincerest form of flattery. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, it's the sincerest form of flattery. That's not even a good Rodney. I guess it was Rich Little. Rich Little was a comedian in the 60s, 70s, 80s, something like that, back in the day, as they say. And he did all these voices, and he was all over HBO and Laugh-In and all these other shows that he just would do wonderful voices. He would do like W.C. Fields. Yeah, I can't even touch his W.C. Fields, but he was just very good at what he did. Yeah. Jonathan Winters did a lot of other voices too, and he would do a grandma and all these other voices that were just so awesome. Like Paul Lynn was another one. Paul Lynn and Charles Nelson Riley. I thought they were one of the same. So the voices on the show then turned into a necessity, like other characters. The bad guy, we haven't, at this point where this anniversary show's on, we don't even know who the bad guy is yet. I do. I know what his name's going to be, but and I know what his relationship is to Captain Drake and the crew. But I needed a voice, so I needed evil voices. And I already had one on the show where I played Captain Walter Time.
I did it like this, very demon-like, you know. So this was Captain Walter Time.
You know, and I would do basically the same voice, but slow it down a bit for the villain.
Captain Walter Time, you know. I'm the main villain on the show, and you don't even know who I am yet.
And I would slow that down, and then I had two villains, but then I needed more villains, and I got I don't even remember their names, the pumpkin-headed guy on the show.
And I had him talk like this, so he looked like how he talked.
The Scarecrow guy was a lot of fun, too.
Because he's like, walks around like this, and You know, he's almost like Walter Time, but almost like Grandma next door.
So, they just came out. Like, I'm looking at the character. As I look at him, I say, what would he sound like? And these voices just came out.
Why is it important that we are on Drake's schedule?
Our engines are having trouble conforming to the power proficiency of the refit.
They're not even that good. But I can't tell you how much fan mail I get on doing voices on the show.
Curious. How is it they still cannot see us, sir?
And why do we not attack, sir? Once again?
And compliments I get from viewers saying, calling me Mel Blanc, and I have a man of 1,000 voices, and it's really neat, the feedback I've gotten on the show. It makes me feel good about what I do on the show. I got very blessed with a lot of the abilities and voices and technical wizardry that I've learned over the years, that I could somehow put that into a show now and have some fun with it. And voices were a large part of that blessing.
How would they do that? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of cool.
Arr, it's the Pirate's Booty, our after show, seen immediately after Dead and Buried Treasures ends. Captain Calico Drake and series creator Eric Sprouse take your calls for up to an hour, answering questions about the series or whatever's on your mind about the Swashbuckler's Haunt, the club, convention appearances, and much more. That's our after show, the Pirate's Booty, taking your booty calls till the wee hours of the morning, immediately following Dead and Buried Treasures on most affiliates.
Every pirate loves Dead and Buried Treasures, but how do you tell if it's a new show or a rerun? Easy. Like Buried Treasure, if you see this logo before the show begins, it's a brand new show. If not, it's a rerun. It's that simple, mateys. Look, new, not. New, not. New, not. Or, if you join a show late after it started, look at our Facebook page for the weekend. If you see the logo there, we be presenting ye with a new show for sure. In fact, it's what you call certified fresh, complete with a tomato kersplat next to it. Isn't that what you kids look for nowadays? Pictures? Don't know what lunatic came up with that one, but a tomato somehow equals fresh, but a splat sometimes equals the movie we're hosting. It's that simple. And now, back to Calico Drake and his group of miscreants.
Devil? Take some cover, hide.
Captain, what happened here?
We have time traveled, Professor.
Time traveled? Time traveled to where?
About an hour ago.
We're still on the haunt.
But we haven't gone far enough. We've already been hit. We're already sinking.
Sinking?
Have you got the hang of that thing, Captain?
Yes! Yes! I was just distracted when Professor Gertie knocked Mr. Bones out of the picture. Outgunned, outmanned, but there are alternatives. Hang on. While you get to tonight's movie, Fangs of the Living Dead. At least it has lesbian vampires in it. What a way to go out! In about 20 minutes, unfortunately. First, more than likely only as prisoners, if on the very ship. Ow! Damn it, Mr. Bones!
That wasn't me, Captain.
Then what the hell was it? Never mind. And that's for not letting go of me ego first. Hang on, the both of you.
Hang on to what? What's happening?
1, 2,
Captain.
3. Take cover.
This again. Will you please stop doing that? What's happening?
We have time traveled again, Professor.
I know. I get it. Time traveled to where?
About 2 hours ago.
What's going on?
Look, I don't have time to explain it to you, so I'll give you the abridged version. Even I don't understand it. We came upon a ship with a distress signal. It turns out that it was an ambush. Our ship was hit pretty hard and sinking, which is why your lab was underwater.
Okay, I get all that. Not so difficult. Sounds like you.
Wait for it. We were visited by a strange woman. You knew her as Calypso, who told us that in the timeline I described, after the ship almost sunk, we were captured, brainwashed into some type of sleeper cells of some sort, and forced to crew the haunt after someone else repaired it.
Uh-huh.
Calypso said that while we were distracted by the ship with the distress signal, 2 other ships were cloaked and hunted us from the sides. These were the ones that hit us, causing us to sink.
You know, I don't know what your problem is, but I'll bet it's hard to pronounce.
Well, pucker up, Buttercup, because it gets better. Calypso said that we could go back in time and prevent the ambush and change history and become heroes.
Heroes?
Heroes?
Heroes.
Okay. Getting better. Heroes to who?
Well, she said the free world was at stake. Oh, and she seemed very interested in finding Jasper for some reason. I think he might be the key.
You know, how does all of this happen up on deck so often? You know, all the weird stuff like this. Like, are you guys... You know...
No. No! No.
Then how does the free world fit into all of this?
The island of dead and buried treasure. Someone else is looking for it, and if we don't stop them, they'll exploit the island to somehow bring the world's most hated movie characters to life, to be under his command, to take over the world. Or at least that's what I got out of it. Right, Jack?
Professor, what he told you was on the up and up.
Imagine if he managed to gather the world's worst villains. Hannibal Lecter, Darth Vader, the James Bond villains.
Pinhead, the Joker, Freddy Krueger, Pennywise.
Hans Gruber, the hunter that killed Bambi. All gathered under his command. The Empire from Star Wars.
Right.
So we needed to go back in time and stop the ambush against us before it happens, so the haunt never sinks, we have the upper hand, he never gets the villains, and your lab is never underwater.
Oh, I like that.
But no one can see us.
They can't. Why?
No, it's not like we're invisible. They can't see us.
Because if they do, it might cause What did Calypso call it?
A time paradox. And you came onto the bridge at the same time we were leaving via this little gizmo.
What's that?
One of the island's enchanted movie props. This one is the time turner from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Did I get that right, Jack?
Yes.
It works. For real.
Well, how far back did we go? I mean, we're on the ship, and there's Mr. Bones. Hi, Mr. Bones!
Stop it. They can't be allowed to see us.
Oh, right. The time thingy. What did you call it?
The time turner.
Right. The paradox.
Right, exactly. We were transporting back when you bumped into Mr. Bones and took his place.
By accident.
Well, what do we do now?
Well, I'm not on the bridge yet. It looks as though we haven't encountered the ambush. Let me think. What was I doing at the time? And while I think of a way out of this, mateys, you get back to the movie. That will kill some time. We're not going anywhere.
Good morning. Here is your coffee.
Look, it's very important that this leaves for Rome. Can you send it off with a car that goes from here to the village? Look. Take this. It's for you. It's very important that this letter gets to Rome. Please. Oh, please.
Good evening, Sylvia.
Good evening. I seem to have lost my passport. Someone must have taken it.
I believe this is yours.
How dare you open my letters?
There should be no secrets between us. Who is Piero? I said, who is Piero?
Piero. Piero is my fiancé. I'm going to marry him.
You are the same as your mother. Brave, quite reckless, but equally out of touch with reality.
You are the one out of touch with reality. You and this castle. Would you please not consider me a prisoner? I came because I wanted to. And I leave whenever I choose to.
Why exactly do you wish to leave?
Why do I wish to leave? Because I want to go to Rome, and I do want to see my fiancé.
Break off with him.
Didn't I tell you I'm getting married?
You have a more important obligation. An obligation you owe because of your blood.
Look, I am not obligated to anything or anyone. You were responsible for my mother's sufferings. I never really knew you until a few days ago. And believe me, I get along very well without you. Besides, I'm allergic to castles.
It's time to tell you about our curious history. When you arrived, we talked about Malenka. Do you know how she died? At the stake, burned alive in the village square. The victim of a murderous, ignorant crowd. Malenka was a brilliant biochemist, but she refused to accept the limitations of the last century's scientific investigations, and so she studied ancient Arabic philosophers and alchemists. She compiled anthologies of black magic and sorcery. She conducted strange experiments in order to prove the existence of the supernatural, of the transmutation of the spirit and of the body, of life beyond death. But her experiments terrified the ignorant. ever since, the Counts of Waldrook have lived under a curse.
Well, I've nothing to do with Malenka.
You are her descendant. Her blood runs in your veins. You, too, must live under that curse. That is why you must never marry.
Piero is a university graduate. He belongs to the modern generations. And believe me, he's above all your superstitions. If I were to tell him that my great-grandmother was a witch, he would want to see the broom.
You should speak with more respect.
All right, dear uncle. Let's say my great-grandmother dedicated herself to witchcraft. Why?
She was searching for the secret of immortality.
Yes, of course. And for that she died?
Yes, but not before she subjected her husband to certain experiments in necrobiology.
And tell me, my dear uncle, what came of it?
They were successful.
What? You mean to tell me that the ancestors are still alive?
Not exactly. They belong to what we call the Nosferatu. In other words, the non-dead.
My dear uncle, I'm afraid you need a long rest. Find some peaceful place, the beach, the country, anywhere, somewhere far from this monstrous place.
Of course, you believe nothing of what I say.
No.
Come with me.
Where?
Downstairs. Come along.
This is ridiculous. I've already seen the tombs.
You haven't seen the inside of them.
Is it really necessary? Look, let's leave it to another day. I'm not the curious type.
Come on. Can't you walk a little faster? Come on. What are you afraid of?
Uncle, let's get out of here.
Look. There's an order.
But it's empty.
During the night, he is free. He wanders around looking for the essence he needs to maintain his eternal existence.
Where is he now?
Here.
What? Where?
Here. Right here. Right beside you.
You?
When we met for the first time and you kissed my cheek, the coldness you noticed was that of the tomb.
No. No. I don't believe any of it. You're just trying to frighten me.
You were born into this family. Never forget that. There is a marvelous world waiting for you. One that I'd like to place in your hands. A world where death does not exist. Do you understand the magnitude of what I am offering you? Forget your plans. Write to him. And I promise that letter will reach him. Write to him.
Piero, I am living a nightmare, or a reality so distorted that I no longer know the difference. Whatever the truth is, I must tell you, dear Piero, that our engagement is definitely broken. I don't believe a word of that.
Forget it. Don't bother about it. She wants to break off with you, and that's all there is to it. You've been jilted. She's run away, man.
I don't think it's as simple as that.
Well, you know how women are when all you do is just offer them an apartment. Don't you realize that Sylvia has been offered a castle? So, she just doesn't know you anymore. Simple as that.
But Sylvia is different. I know that something is behind this. She says, Piero, am I mad or am I perhaps dreaming? Is all this reality or nightmare? There must be something we can do.
Yeah, but what?
How do I know? Maybe just ask Sylvia what's been happening. If she wants to break, let her tell me yourself, face to face.
That's right. She can tell us to both our faces.
You mean you're planning on coming?
Did you think I'd let you go by yourself? Not a chance. I wouldn't think of your making that trip alone.
You know where Waldrook is?
I've got a map right here, so everything's set. I knew about 10 days ago that we'd have to go to Waldrook.
What about your business?
Vacation. Don't you think I'm about due for a vacation? We leave tomorrow.
Frederick, how have you been? Follow me.
Hello. You have a good trip? Very good.
Bertha, I brought you a doctor.
Yeah, architects don't count.
Well, Rugart, don't stand there staring into space like that. Go get supper ready. These gentlemen are waiting. Oh, I didn't expect any more people. There's only one room left tonight.
That's all right.
Excuse me, Doctor. Would you mind examining a girl who's not well?
But of course I wouldn't. Who is it?
I'm the girl. I seem to get weaker and weaker.
It's nothing to worry about. A bit of anemia.
I can't understand it. You know I've always been healthy.
With a little rest, some vitamins and iron, you should be up and about very soon.
Are you really sure?
Just don't worry about it.
Doctor, you've set my mind at ease. Thank you. At any rate, I think we'll keep the window closed. And this string of garlic will prevent harm from coming in.
You believe placing a bunch of garlic keeps out evil, is that it?
I'd stay out, that's for sure. Garlic tickles my nose. It makes me sneeze.
Good night, Bertha. And sleep well. Try not to worry. She's just become weaker and weaker, more and more pale and worn. Well, you've seen her. Sometimes I think, well, there's been no apparent reason.
I don't understand.
It's just that maybe someone wants to harm Bertha.
I still don't understand.
That's because you're not from these parts. There's something going on here. Something evil.
Would you mind telling us both what on earth has really been going on? Whatever it is, it can be explained logically.
It can it? You'd better read a certain book. It'll tell you about all the horrible things that happened here years ago. Here, this is it. It tells of Malenka, the old Countess Malenka and her infernal castle.
Hey, hang on. We're going there tomorrow.
A doctor has just been to see me. He wants to cure me.
Who brought a doctor here?
It was I.
You and that girl are getting more and more troublesome.
Please, you mustn't let anything happen to her.
Come in.
Doctor, please. It's my sister.
Shut up, you mutt.
I don't understand this at all. She was anemic and weak, yes, but strong enough to get well.
I know, Doctor, but neither you nor your scientific knowledge could do anything about this. It was beyond your power. There's only one thing left to do now, drive a wooden stake through her heart.
What a monster.
That's what I beg you to do for her.
That's a superstition.
Haven't you read the book? Haven't you?
Yes, but I am a doctor. I can't acknowledge the existence of such superstitions. Freya, what does the local doctor think about all this?
Dr. Horbiger, he never thinks anything.
No. I never think or say anything. What can I say?
But apparently there have been many cases, just like this one.
Well, similar.
And your diagnosis?
Asthenia. Weakness. Anemia. Exhaustion.
Dr. Horbiger, may I ask you one question? A rather special question.
Why not?
Are you entirely sure of your diagnoses?
If I were someone susceptible to insults, I would be very angry with you. I would even be inclined to throw you out of here. But now, I admit your right to doubt. No, I have never been sure.
And why not?
Well, it's a long, long story. 20 years ago, I was like you. I was young and sure of everything. And I loved my profession. Time passed, and I saw a great many terrible and terrifying things in Waldrook. I'm no longer young, and I've forgotten my ideals. I had to choose. Choose either to keep quiet or die like the others. Why should I meddle in things that I can't prevent? I can't. And you can't. Not even wiser people than we are can.
But you're an educated man. You know that everything on Earth has a rational explanation.
Ha! Rational. I'd like to show you something. Come on. Come on. Freya, would you mind leaving us alone for a moment? And you might prepare us some strong coffee.
Of course, Doctor.
What do you see on the girl's throat?
It looks like 2 pinpricks with a slight inflammation.
What would you say if those 2 pinpricks were the cause of her death?
An animal bite?
No. Something 1,000 times worse. An insatiable bloodsucker.
You don't believe in vampires, do you?
No. I don't believe in vampires. But then how can you explain this? My dear colleague, perhaps you would be good enough to accompany me to my modest little laboratory.
Certainly, Doctor.
Thank you.
Max, wait here a moment, will you?
Alone? With her? That damn dog scared me to death. What death does to some people.
Welcome back, mateys. I think I may have planned this out. But we need a distraction.
Why, Captain? Why don't we just walk over there and tell them what you told me?
We can't. Because that's the past. And if we bother any of that, the 3 of us won't be here right now. It also means we are here. But there are also 2 of all of us here. 2 of you, 2 of Jack, and 2 of me.
Which is why we can't be seen just yet. If we disrupt any part of that, the 3 of us may never get back to change any of this in the first place.
So what do we do?
I have a plan. Listen.
Hey, Jack, would you like to help me with this crossword puzzle?
Sure, Mr. Bones. What do you have?
Okay, first word, 4 letters, another word for a woman. Last 3 letters ending in U-N-T.
U-N-T. Oh, that's an easy one, Mr. Bones. Aunt. Aunt is the answer. Like your uncle's wife, Aunt.
Oh, yes, that is better. Do you have an eraser?
But we still need a distraction.
A distraction?
Yes. The time turner will work for our benefit when we turn it twice instead of 3 times. But we need Mr. Bones out of there.
Well, why don't we do it right now?
Because we need the other me here on the bridge for the plan to work. But we need a distraction to get Mr. Bones off the bridge so it's just Jack and me. And then we can confront us.
But I thought you said that was bad.
bad as far as time travel, but not using an enchanted device such as the time turner. Trust me, turning it twice instead of 3 times will have a very different effect. Wait a second. Status, Mr. Bones.
She hasn't moved. She hasn't communicated in any way other than the distress signal.
There I am. Oh my God, I've gained weight. You know, one of the crew told me I've gained weight, but I never see it from this angle.
Captain, focus!
Besides, you weren't on the bridge when we made the discovery of the ship. You won't confront yourself.
How long ago did this ambush happen? This looks as though it were before Halloween, last year. You mean we have been, what did you call it before? Sleeper cells for that long? We've been brainwashed for that long?
Apparently so. But I'll need to confront me without Mr. Bones in the equation.
Well, what if I...
No. I mean, I would still feel it, and even if you did it, it would probably prevent me from being here right now, talking with you.
Oh. Why?
Because I would need to be knocked out cold. We need another distraction.
So what type of distraction?
Something that would gain my attention for sure. Show them your boobs.
What? I'm not gonna show them my boobs.
Oh, come on. Why not?
No!
Well, it would be a distraction, Professor.
No.
All right. How about just one?
No.
How about just me right now?
You're a pig.
Professor Gertie, it's not like half the crew hasn't seen them before. Don't you remember the New Year's Eve party? No, of course you don't.
I have an idea myself. I'll get him off the bridge.
What? Gertie!
Professor!
And there goes our surprise attack.
Surprise attack, sir?
Well, any chance of seeing her boobs would have been a nice surprise.
Captain!
It looks as though Professor Gertie has gone and done something rash. We'll see if it works momentarily. In the meantime, let's see what's going on with our lesbian vampire friends in Fangs of the Living Dead. Maybe I'll see their boobs.
Try to focus, Captain. It's a commercial break.
All right. We'll be right back.
The summer holidays are here, and it's time to celebrate them like a true American pirate. Presenting the limited edition Red, White, and Blue Captain Calico Drake Patriotic Decoder. After all, I am a true American hero. It's our Stars and Scars edition from Phoenix Comics and Toys. Star-spangled from top to bottom, Captain Drake celebrates Memorial Day and the 4th of July like none other, and it's an exclusive only found here at Phoenix Comics and Toys, the home of our fan club. This is variant number 3 in the series, and it comes with a star-spangled red, white, and blue paint job, a removable American flag, me First Officer Jack launching fireworks at the base, and a true salute to Uncle Sam, complete with beard and a new top hat design. Plus, our limited edition patriotic decoder also comes with a unique red, white, and blue doubloon. Say that 3 times really fast, mateys. And it's exclusive to making me, of course, a true American hero. But you'll need to order quickly, as this limited edition patriotic decoder will only be available until the end of July. Plus, if you're already a fan club member, you'll get another 20% off. I guess you could call it the United Drake of decoders. So search for Phoenix Comics and Toys in Facebook and Etsy for this Scars and Stars Captain Calico Drake patriotic decoder and order today. Arr, we asked, and you responded.
Hey guys, I was just calling to tell you that I'm a really big fan of your show. Me and my friends watch it every Saturday night, and we are absolutely in love with all the monster movies that you talk about, and especially that they're from like the 50s, 60s, you know, the older movies. That's what we like about this show so much. We especially like your parrot Jack. He's always making us laugh. And it's just a very enjoyable show that we like to watch every Saturday. So I was just calling to give you my feedback, and I hope you continue to make more great shows. Thank you.
Hi, I just thought I'd call and tell you I am enjoying your monster movies. They're great. And also, I love Drake. Hope to see more of you. Bye.
Hey, this is Saul Cummel from Pittsburgh. I just want to tell you guys, I really love Dead and Barry's Treasure Show. I love all the old monster movies. It really takes me back to when I was a kid, and now I'm able to tell my friends, you know, you guys got to check this show out, and it'll bring back so many memories for you. Let me tell you, too, Calico Drake is hilarious. Although I tell you what, Jack really makes the show. He just busts Calico Drake every chance he gets, and I love it. Keep up the good work, guys. I will be shanghaied into your crew as long as the show is on. Thanks very much.
Hey, man, I think your show's kind of groovy. Bucket of Blood is what it is, man. What it is. Got that beatnik thing to it, and I just love it. Groovy, man, groovy. Hey, keep up the good work, guys. Okay, talk to you later.
There are no further messages.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
What does she think she's doing?
Creating a distraction, sir, to get Mr. Bones off the bridge.
Hold here. Keep your distance, Mr. Bones.
Well, everything up to this point seems legit.
Something about this, Captain, doesn't seem right.
No, it doesn't.
Unidentified ship, this is the Swashbuckler's haunt. Please respond or prepare to be boarded.
Mr. Bones?
Getting a message now. She says her radio is out, and she's unable to respond other than Morse.
Morse? If that's the case, Captain, how is the distress signal being transmitted?
Good evening, everyone.
Unidentified ship, this is the Swashbuckler's haunt. Please respond or prepare to be boarded.
Professor, what are you doing on the bridge?
Oh, I just thought I would get some air.
Why don't they recognize her, sir?
Unidentified ship, this is the
Recognize her from what?
Please respond.
We were down in the theater portion of the ship when this happened. To me, it looks as though she came up from below deck, that's all.
Well, you picked a bad time for it, Professor. We just received a distress call we're answering.
Unidentified ship, this is the Swashbuckler's haunt.
And
Please respond or prepare to be
we just started investigating a few minutes ago.
Oh.
I still say the boobs thing was a better idea.
Well, actually, Captain, I was wondering if I could borrow, Mr. Bones. I need his expertise below deck on an experiment I was devising.
What type of experiment? I could really use him on the bridge right now. Can it wait?
Well, not really, Captain. I was making a breakthrough on the food processing, the Pittsburgh pierogies, sir.
The pierogies?
The ones we discovered in Pittsburgh. I do like those. I do like those.
Yes, Captain, but if you think that could wait...
No, nonsense. Mr. Bones, accompany Professor Gertie below deck and assist her.
Right now? Oh, all right. I don't know what I can do, Professor. I mean, isn't this more of a job for Chef Papa?
He's tied up with some, baking. He actually recommended you.
Oh, all right. Although I will admit my gourmet cooking experiences have really skyrocketed. I have a lovely creamed moonshine liqueur that's coffee flavored that I would love to work with into some kind of a dessert of some kind. I'm not sure if it would be something like a flaming
I'll be damned.
ice cream. I do like flaming.
Am I always that easy?
Well, when it comes to food or women, sir, what's the plan?
Well, as I told you, the time turner allows the user to time travel when the hourglass is turned 3 times. But when it's turned twice, it allows the current time traveler to slip into the body of their doppelganger, or in this case, you and I prevent a paradox.
And we take over them?
More or less. Mr. Bones comes back to the bridge, we make the order to sail away, and all is well. It's not like we're losing any time here. Perhaps a few months, and we get history back on track.
What happens to Professor Gertie?
Who cares?
Captain!
I mean, she will more than likely disappear from this timeline and merge with her doppelganger once history corrects course. The same goes for the whole crew. Let's go.
No colors, no personnel.
And still no response to our hails.
Which is surprising, sir, since we are here to rescue them.
Nothing else in the area?
Nothing, sir. Scanning again.
At least nothing we can see. Ah, yes, but you can see me. What the devil? Great buckets of goose snot. Hello. Jack, put security to the bridge immediately. Belay that order, Jack.
I don't, what do I do here?
Isn't it clear he's an imposter? I'm not an imposter. It's me. It's me.
I think I will notify security. Security, Chief Bitterman. Chief, we have 2 Captain Drakes on the bridge, and we need you here right now. Belay that order, Chief Bitterman. Everything is fine here. We had a slight weapons malfunction, but we don't need you on the bridge. Everything is fine here. Now, thank you. How are you?
Oh, you know the shenanigans we always have up here on the bridge, Chief. Disregard.
Sure. Thank you, Jack. Impressive.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Captain. Hey!
Although, I am not impressed by me reaction time here. Why haven't you taken a swing at me yet?
Because you're an idiot.
I am? What else could you be? A figment of me imagination? Not hardly. I'm really here. Future me. Future me? Well, that's new. Believe me, I understand. I did just get back from the doctor, and he said I could have cancer or amnesia.
That's horrible, Mr. Bones.
Yeah. But hey, at least I don't have cancer. Really? No, you idiot. See, you've proven me point. That's enough. All this to host monster movies. I don't know what you got in your hands there, but stop, fake me. Great. Well, me hearties, it looks like he's got the drop on me, so I do. And stop talking to my viewers. Well, apologies, but they are my viewers too, and this is my job. Stop it. Stop that. Stop that. You get back to the movie. While we decide what's happening here.
Weird, right? Yeah, one of them was enough. All of this over lesbian vampires.
Lesbian vampires? Well, that sounds delightful. Stop it. Stop it. Stop that.
Stop that!
I'm glad I'm a bird. Well, if it were Daisy Duck, maybe. We'll be back in about 20 minutes.
The bat is the only mammal which can fly, but it only flies at night and spends the day asleep, hanging by its claws. People are repelled by the bat because they instinctively fear its relation to the forces of night and shadow. You know, with a very few exceptions, the normal lifespan of an animal is in close relation to its size. The elephant can live 100 years. Man lives about 70 years. A horse grows old at 17, a dog at 12. A mouse in a year or two, and a butterfly only lives a few hours. Well, now let's take the bat, which, logically, should only survive in life about 17 months. Well, he lives surprisingly a little more than 20 years. But there is something even more surprising than that. It is the only animal whose arteries never show inflammation. Its arteries are as supple and young as when it was 1 year old. Its arteries are eternally young. You'd think it were dead. It has no observable heartbeat, and it can go on and on for months and months in this strange death-like sleep. That's to practice hibernation. Like many other animals, they bury themselves in the snow and stay there until spring, when they come to life again. Now you will understand. Life and death before your very eyes. A balance, a continuous circle. Hamlet's to be or not to be changed into a strange reality. The circle is the principal thesis. Survival and eternal struggle shape its changing radius, converging in that mysterious reality. And changing our sleep into death. Basically, the great secret of sleep is at stake here. Sleep whose mechanism and principles are unknown. For instance, what is yoga about? Yoga tries to achieve by means of autosuggestion a state akin to sleep.
Yes, Doctor, but I don't understand why you are trying to explain the basic principles and facts of sleep just now.
In the first place, so that you will admit that my life has not been thoroughly useless or wasted, you see. I question and investigate what interests me in my own humble way. And I believe that the secret of long life is to be found here in the bat's arteries.
Possibly, although this has nothing to do with the Count, nor with Sylvia, nor Berta.
No. How do you propose dealing with the person who is capable of changing into a bat whenever he feels like it?
Dr. Harbinger, I'll believe that when I see it with my own eyes.
Why does Sylvia insist upon staying here?
We'll soon know that, and if she wants to break it all off, and why. But without any pretense or useless apologies.
That's the way to go. Don't get soft and start pleading with her. Be tough.
What do you want?
We want to see Sylvia Morel.
Miss Sylvia has given orders not to be disturbed.
I'm Piero Luciani, her fiancé.
Her orders were specific. They included you.
What do we do now?
How should I know? I'd like to break down that door.
We travel 800 miles, and she won't come down to say hello?
Well, I just won't be put off that easily.
No?
What if she's been locked up in there?
Are you letting the village gossip get you too? You read her letter. Wasn't it in her handwriting? And didn't she say she was through?
Yes, but Sylvia
Being a countess has just gone to her head. You're not good enough for her.
I wish I could find a way to climb that wall and speak to her for a minute. Look!
What?
Sylvia!
Nothing. Not even a sign of recognition.
Sylvia! It's me, Piero!
The Count has given orders that you should wear this dress tonight.
But what's wrong with her?
I told you. When she didn't have a penny to her name, and modeled bathing suits, she was oh so sweet and affectionate. And now, there she is.
I don't need you tonight. You may go to your room, Gladys. Don't come out whatever you hear.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. In that dress, you are Malenka. She would have liked to witness our ritual ceremony. Afterwards, my dear Sylvia, you will be young for all eternity. Take this.
No.
Drink it.
No.
Yes, drink it.
No.
Drink it. You shouldn't have come here.
But you promised to take me with you.
But not tonight. I've got to finish something very important.
That's just an excuse.
Don't insist, Bertha. You must obey me. I'll call you.
But when?
Very soon. Perhaps tomorrow. Sylvia! 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 Let me in. Let me in. Open up. Don't you hear me? Open. Sylvia. Sylvia! Let me in!
Sylvia!
Must he always torture me? He whipped me again. He chained me. Must he always be so cruel?
Why don't you run away when you get a chance?
But where could I go?
I don't know. Anywhere far away from here where the monster can't find you.
What's the use? I'm no different than Count Waldrook. But you are different. You must find a solution and a way to escape.
But how?
Go to the crypt, to the right of the tombs. There's a tunnel.
I won't forget you, Glinka. Thank you.
Do you remember me? I'm Berta. I used to work at the inn.
Oh, yes. What are you doing around here at this hour?
I like the night.
You are very pale. You shouldn't be out this late.
Nothing can happen to me anymore. Don't you know that? Why are you running away? Wait!
There should be a tunnel just about here. But I wonder where it comes out.
It doesn't matter. Once we get inside, we'll creep along quietly and something's up.
No, don't open it. Don't open it.
Why not? It might be someone who wants a drink.
Or my sister.
No, don't say that.
Piero.
I don't believe my eyes. Silvia, dressed like Lucrezia Borgia.
It was horrible. A nightmare. Even Berta ran after me.
Berta, what are you talking about?
Berta, the waitress that works here.
Freya's sister? Are you sure?
She was trying to bite me with those horrible fangs.
That's impossible. Berta is dead.
What?
Her funeral took place this afternoon.
But I talked to her. She ran after me. You don't believe me, do you? You think I'm going mad?
Sylvia, you're just exhausted. You'd better get some rest. I'll give you something to make you sleep. And tomorrow we'll leave for Italy.
If only everyone could leave. You're really very lucky.
You could leave too, you know. All you have to do is make up your mind.
And what about these poor people? Oh, no. I've taken the Hippocratic Oath. I'll stay and do what I can. Which isn't very much. A childbirth a month. Epidemics of measles or flu. A fractured leg or a cold.
That's your life. Ours is elsewhere. We couldn't possibly stay here. You know what Sylvia told us yesterday? You won't believe it. She said she saw Berta.
I was afraid of that. We should really have buried her in the old way.
Doctor, several of us saw a ghost. We just saw Berta.
Don't laugh, Piero. I had to wear one of Freya's dresses.
Then Berta?
I told you. Something much more terrible than death happened to her.
Oh, Piero, let's leave here right away.
I'd really like to, Sylvia. But if all this madness is true, then I feel that I'm responsible for whatever happened to Berta. And we don't have much time. Dr. Horbiger, what can we do to end all this nonsense?
Drive a wooden stake through her heart.
What are you doing with that?
No, it's just a protection against the forces of evil.
And what's so funny?
I just happened to think about discussing all this vampire stuff when we get back to Rome.
Shh. Just a minute, Doctor. Before you open it, I'd like to see for myself this phenomenon.
As you wish, Doctor. However, once she gets out of the tomb, it will be almost impossible to do anything with her. But, all right. We can wait in that building over there. Excuse me. Come on, follow me. Watch the grave.
Open it, Rugard. Me. I said open it. No, I'm so scared.
Where is she? I said, where is she?
No.
Where is she? Tell me. Tell me where she is.
I don't know.
Better tell me.
Upstairs in her room.
My nerves are all on edge, Doctor. How about giving me a drink from your flask?
Sorry, because this time I've only brought holy water. about me. Go after her. Can't you see she's running away?
Doctor, they've kidnapped Miss Morel.
One crisis after another. Do you think we should go to the castle?
Don't you?
Well,
It's useless trying to dissuade you or to warn you about the intelligence of all vampires or about their evil powers.
I've got to save her, in spite of all your warnings.
I think this meeting was bound to take place. Don't you agree, Doctor?
You may be right.
And you were here as well, Horbiger.
I thought my presence was needed.
We had agreed, my dear friend, that if you were going to practice your profession in my territories, it might be much easier for us not to interfere in each other's private affairs. Do you remember?
Yes.
Where is Sylvia?
You'll see her very soon. But before going any further, I must ask you to return that ring.
Yes, of course. I'll be glad to.
It's very precious, and it should remain always in the family. When it is worn by a stranger, it is dangerous. A startling likeness.
You mean that isn't Sylvia?
No. That's my wife, Marenka. She died in this castle in 1835.
That's more than 100 years ago, if I know how to add.
If what you say is true, you would now be at least
over 150 years old.
But that's quite impossible.
As you wish. If you want to see Sylvia, she's in her room. You may go up there.
You shouldn't go.
Is anything the matter, Doctor?
Oh, no.
You seem nervous. While your friend is upstairs, please sit down and help yourselves to whatever you want. Make yourselves at home.
Our young friend has walked into a trap.
Yeah, and Count Waldrock said to make ourselves at home.
Sylvia. Sylvia.
Oh, you shouldn't have come. Please, please go away.
And you.
I must remain here.
But you love me, Sylvia. You still love me. I know that.
That's not important.
Why not?
Because it can never be. I now know the horrible truth about my family.
Don't believe all those fairy tales. They're only trying to keep us apart.
Why deny the evidence? I'm bound to these walls by a force much stronger than what we ever felt for each other.
They filled your head with ridiculous fears just so they can do what they want.
What's the use, Piero? Go away. Go away. Why make it more difficult than it is already?
Where's the Count?
I don't know. He didn't say.
He's probably down in the cellar. You can either go this way or you can go that way. But I don't think you should go either way.
You want me to go with you?
Stay here. He's a little crazy. You know what I mean?
But he'll need
Let
help.
him go. Sit down.
Don't cry. Please, Sylvia. Everything will be all right soon.
There is nothing more I can do. I've already given up the one thing I love most.
But why on earth did you do that?
Don't you understand? Pierre is gone. And I have to remain here alone forever.
Then follow him. You must follow him.
No. How could I possibly live with a normal human being?
But you are one, just like the others.
No. No. I can't be sure, and you know it.
There's something I must tell you.
You should be convinced by now of your failure. The only intelligent thing you can do is to leave.
Then I'll take Sylvia with me.
Against her wishes.
Tell her this is all a pack of lies. If you don't...
Not even you can kill a corpse.
This stupid farce has gone on long enough.
I agree.
No!
Oh, did you see that, Doctor? Wow, what a figure.
Can't you see that she's not alive? She's a walking corpse.
Huh? Come on, you're kidding. I bet you wish you were half as alive as she is. Hey, you!
But...
Aren't you cold in that flimsy dress?
What?
I mean, aren't you afraid of catching a cold?
The coldness of the grave is in my veins.
Come on now.
I need fresh, warm human blood.
Will mine do?
Is it very warm?
I'm Italian.
Oh, would you give it all to Glinka?
To the last drop.
Oh. Oh.
You're tickling me.
But I'm a vampire.
Oh, I love exotic women.
Oh, do you really?
If you want me to prove it, why don't you come along with me to Rome?
Oh, yes.
If you're going to kill me, do it now.
But beforehand, you might like to know the meaning of your death.
What about Sylvie?
Bring her right away.
Welcome back, mateys. If you don't mind, this is still me ship. According to you, your ship sank. Actually, the good news is, I told you this story and Jack did not.
What? We're offended! We're offended!
Jack, we would still be arguing about this if you explained it. Allow me. Certainly. Jack, here is you attempting to tell a story. This is point A. This is point B. Most people tell the story in a straight time line.
Oh my god.
This is you.
Alright, now we're offended. Now we're offended. That is not me. Or me.
You know, he's not kidding. Speaking of which, do you mind? Oh, right. Sorry. I wouldn't want to destroy anything that pretty. I know. I love me. But we're rapidly running out of time. Right. Well, we're still approaching that abandoned ship with the distress signal, and you say not to? It's a trap? It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap.
What is it?
You sound like that guy from Return of the Jedi. Admiral Akbar. It's a trap.
Well, if it is a trap, we know now, and we'll just go in guns a-blazing. Jack, ready the cannons!
Aye, Captain! Ready the guns! Cannons come to bear!
Is that a good idea, Captain? We are here to rescue them.
Yes, belay that order, Jack. Nice to see you, Siren.
Doubly seen.
What is it? I'm just following me instincts. Right, don't. It's a mistake.
Told you so.
You stay out of this, Siren. Well, what you don't know is you're being hunted by both sides by 2 other ships, one on either side. With the bait alone, you have this, but you're not focusing on the side ships. And you say they're here, invisible. Cloaked, they're here. Believe me. Well then, what do we do? They won't sit here forever. No, they won't. But you'll have to trust me. What do you have there? That looks like a prop from the keel. A movie prop. Or from the island. It is. It's the time turner. Well, a DeLorean was unavailable. I already know what your plan is. Well, that's right. You are me. If I believe any of this.
It is imperative that you do!
Time travel? How else am I here? Well, I don't know, but what would be very cool would be if we were both to go into port. Now, bear with me. And hook up with those O'Flanagan sisters. Again, remember that? Oh, yes. That would be I know, right? Wife number 5 and 6.
Captain, please focus!
Oh, right. No, that's offensive to women. All women. You know what we have to do. I do. And King Triton help us if you're not telling the truth. I am. And Mirabella's part in all of this will come soon enough, even without King Triton's help. Are you game? Not really. But when did that ever stop me? Well, you know how this works. 2 turns and we're in business. Gertie can't distract Mr. Bones forever, and we have to do this before he gets back. I don't have another Davy Bones to replace him, and unfortunately, it's all or nothing. I don't have another one of her either. But if I did, I'd be putting her to good use. Tell me about it. With time travel, Jack. What will happen to her? Professor Gertie? Well, I'm pretty sure it would be like waking from a dream for her. Much like Marty McFly's girlfriend in Back to the Future. We're not disrupting the timeline with a paradox, and we are staying here with her. The timeline will continue from this point forward, provided you're okay with that. Do we know if this will work? I mean, how do we even know it won't set off another thing like you said, a paradox?
That's what I said!
We don't. But that's what us pirates do, right? Take risks. The alternative is I tell you what to do, and we have a paradox. Or you don't listen to me and the haunt sinks. What do you want to do? That's a lot to take in. Let's do it. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, and lock. Like putting on a new pair of jeans.
Oh, this is so strange!
Jack?
I'm here, Captain.
Everything all right? Are you in one piece?
I think so. Did it work?
I don't understand women. She never even asked my opinion on whatever the hell she wanted. What the hell? I'm busy. She just kept delaying me from returning to the bridge. It's like she didn't want me to come back here.
My God. We are in the past. Just like Calypso said.
Who's Calypso? Who's Calypso? What past? Who's past? Who's Calypso?
And apparently about to make some type of life-altering decision.
What life-altering decision? What's going on?
Just remember, Mr. Bones, if you lose a sock in the dryer, it will come back to haunt you as a plastic lid. And that lid won't fit any of the containers in your kitchen. Well, me hearties, we made it back to the past unscathed. But that's apparently only half of our problem. You watch these horrible commercials, and when you return, I'm sure it will hit the fan.
I think so, too.
What plastic containers? What's a Calypso? What's happening?
That's what I would like to know. We'll be right back.
Every pirate loves dead and buried treasures, but how do you tell if it's a new show or a rerun? Easy. Like buried treasure, if you see this logo before the show begins, it's a brand new show. If not, it's a rerun. It's that simple, mateys. Look, new, not. New, not. New, not. Or, if you join a show late after it started, look at our Facebook page for the weekend. If you see the logo there, we be presenting ye with a new show for sure. In fact, it's what you call certified fresh, complete with a tomato kersplat next to it. Isn't that what you kids look for nowadays? Pictures? Don't know what lunatic came up with that one, but a tomato somehow equals fresh. But a splat sometimes equals the movie we're hosting. It's that simple. And now, back to Calico Drake and his group of miscreants.
Arr, it's the Pirate's Booty, our after show, seen immediately after Dead and Buried Treasures ends. Captain Calico Drake and series creator Eric Sprouse take your calls for up to an hour, answering questions about the series or whatever's on your mind about the Swashbuckler's Haunt, the club, convention appearances, and much more. That's our after show, the Pirate's Booty, taking your booty calls till the wee hours of the morning, immediately following Dead and Buried Treasures on most affiliates.
Welcome back, mateys. You can remove your hands from your eyes. The commercials are over. And here we are, Jack, in the past. It's a second chance, or rather a third chance. But what should we do?
Well, just think about what you would do and do the opposite, sir. Calypso gave us a chance to change our course in history. What did you do before?
Before? Before what? What? Before what? What's a Calypso? What are you talking about?
She said not to let your ego get involved. Was what you did before ego related?
I believe so. I can't remember what I did before. It's almost like I just awoke from a dream of some type. But I think I would have taken us right in at Yellow Alert, stood by to raise the shields if necessary, and wait to pick up survivors of the ship in distress. Nothing else in the area?
No, sir. What's wrong with you?
Nothing. For the first time, I'm thinking clear. Jack, Do you have the pirate guide on hand? The one that Reginald discovered in the local library?
At your helm, sir.
Ah. There was something familiar about that ship, but I can't quite place me finger on it.
Pirate guide? What the devil do you need a pirate guide for?
It looked like the Dutchman, but also a little bit like the Angel Slayer. But that would be impossible.
Would it?
Mr. Bones, scan our port and starboard sides. Anything unusual?
No, nothing. No movement. No. Wait a second. There seems to be a distortion, like a visual distortion, on both sides. It's quite large and hard to spot, sir, but it is there.
At least it's nothing we can see. But I'm remembering bits and pieces of this day now.
Just do whatever your ego tells you not to do, Captain.
Do whatever I wouldn't do. Fine. Mr. Bones, bring us about. Turn us around.
Whatever you wouldn't do. Turn us around, sir. What
I said, turn us around.
Captain, I don't understand what's happening here. But may I remind you that this is a distress signal? People may need help.
You can't uncook an egg, Siren. Turn us around.
Captain, with all due respect, you'll be sacrificing...
You heard the captain, Mr. Bones! Turn us around!
Aye, sir. All right, Jack.
Bring the weapons to bear. On my command, fire a full volley on both sides of our ship.
Into the open sea?
Yes, stand by.
Stand by to fire!
Captain, you want me to fire into the ocean?
Yes, Mr. Bones. If you won't do it, I will remove you with someone who will.
Aye, standing by to fire into the open sea, right into the water, a full volley on both sides. Stand by on the guns.
So forceful, Jack. Nice job. And while you're at it, fire a volley behind us to our stern.
Behind us? The stern?
Yes.
You mean fire on the abandoned in distress ship?
She soon will be.
Fire upon it. Just clarifying, Captain. Standing by!
Captain, is this a good...
Fire!
Fire! Fire! Fire all the guns! Don't understand it. What are the explosions exploding off of? Invisible ships?
Again, reload the cannons.
Weapons control reports fully loaded and awaiting your instruction, Captain.
Same targeting array as before. Fire!
Fire weapons!
Fire! Fire all guns!
Full speed ahead, Mr. Bones. Get us out of here.
Aye, aye, sir. I don't understand it worth a damn, but aye, aye.
Did we do it, sir? Did we change history?
I don't know, Jack. Have I made it better or worse? Hard to tell. The last time we did this, we landed in the middle of a time traveler's warning.
Time traveler? Did we travel through time?
A time traveler?
Well, what else was she, Jack? She warned us that we would relive this moment in time, coming upon that Trojan horse while we were hunted by both sides from two other predator ships.
I think we're just happy to be alive.
No one ever tells me anything.
What is it?
Captain, I'm sensing a huge power surge from the ship behind us!
Captain, they're powering up their weapons!
Ready the weapons. Raise shields. Angle our rear deflector before...
Off the starboard bow, Captain!
That's not her. But she's here. The Angel Slayer.
Forget the starboard bow, Captain! Something's decloaking on the port side!
That's not her. But she's here.
OMG! We're surrounded, Captain!
Well, mateys, we may have saved our lives for the present with that little maneuver, but needless to say, here we go again. Let's get you back to the end of the movie where it's safe, while we see what our current situation is.
It's hardly safe, Captain. There's about to be a cat fight.
A cat fight? You mean between two beautiful women?
Scantily clad at that, sir. Perhaps it's best not to show it.
What? Why not? We probably should, show the entire scene. And not an edited version, for nostalgia's sake. Documented. Evidence. Yes. We'll be right back.
I think it's now time for you to learn what I have in mind concerning Sylvia. And yourself.
I think an explanation might help us all.
Just imagine what would happen if my niece Sylvia should appear before a group of psychiatrists, declaring herself to be a vampire and saying that she killed you in order to drink your blood. And that I'm over 100 years old. What would happen?
Sylvia would be pronounced insane and irresponsible.
Believe me, I'm sorry to have to involve you in my plans, but you are quite obstinate. I think that explains everything.
But all this doesn't explain how Berta came back.
That's easy. Berta never died. Her death certificate was signed by Dr. Horbiger, who is always under the influence of enough alcohol so that he imagines seeing bats and vampires all around him.
But how did Berta get out of her grave?
The crypt in the castle is connected by tunnels to the cemetery, very useful in times of siege. Since Sylvia is so much in love with you, nothing would be more natural than that it should be she and only she who really introduces you to a different life. One which is without the reality of death.
Don't believe him, Sylvia. He's lied to you.
Your hour has come, Sylvia. Obey. You are now going to unite your life to this man forever. Go. Go and sink your teeth into his throat.
Wake up, Sylvia. Don't do it.
Go on. Do it now.
No, Sylvia, no.
Go ahead. Do it. Go ahead, Sylvia. Bite!
Wait! None of this is true.
I warned you not to interfere. Berta, take her away.
Don't you dare touch me.
Go on, Bertha.
I was only pretending. It's the only way we can save ourselves.
That's enough! That's enough! No!
I won't be at ease until I'm on a plane taking off for Rome.
So long, friend.
Since my sister no longer needs me, I would like to go to Rome with you. Do you think I would be a success there?
stop! Start the pumps! Damage control to the starboard side aft. Report, Mr. Bones.
2 ships, Captain! Both apparently invisible to the naked eye, and yet suddenly are now here! Both are warships from our century, but like us, both ships look to be upgraded. By hitting them first, it disabled their cloaking device.
Obviously, Mr. Bones, you installed this 21st century equipment. Can you scan the ships on either side? Who the hell are they?
Yes, sir. Stand by.
By turning us around, Captain, you placed us between the 2 ships on either side. They can't fire on us without taking overshot flak from each other.
You saved us, Captain.
Don't put the cart before the horse, Mr. Bones. Not just yet. I want to know who is behind us, and if that is indeed Angel Slayer. Can't be.
Most of the firing we're receiving now has come from behind us. Mostly because the 2 ships on our sides can't do much of anything without hitting each other in the crossfire. And they were damaged from your quick thinking.
Well, they won't wait long, and eventually they'll maneuver around. Rear deflector status.
Holding, Captain, but our targeting systems are inoperative.
Best guess. Stand by all weapons.
Standing by on your mark.
Spread it out and spread it around.
Stand by to fire.
Locked and loaded.
Fire!
Simply by turning us around, sir, may have saved our lives and changed history.
On the other hand, this might be how they capture us. I hope you enjoyed Fangs of the Living Dead, mateys, because it might be the last movie we ever witness. But it will give you something to remember us by. Mr. Bones, from which of those 3 ships did that distress signal originate?
The one to our stern, I believe.
Prepare to turn all cannons on her.
Aye, sir.
Why is that important, Captain?
Because that seems to be the one running the show.
Ready, Captain!
Fire!
Fire weapons!
Fire the long guns to the stern!
Engineering status.
The bilge pumps are working, sir, but we're taking on more water than we can pump out.
Activate the reserve pumps on the starboard side and channel the water through the bypass ducts. It will force the water out of the mains without having to rely on the filter backups. Do we have a status on the... Do we have a fire? Do we have a status on the fire on deck G?
Not yet, sir, but C-Deck reports that the filter systems are working. The fires there are under control.
Well, that's something. Get a repair team over there and see if they can strip the network offline and get our cannons channeled manually. Let's turn this thing around.
We'll do what we can, sir.
That ship. The one that brought us here. They were a distraction to draw us in, while the other 2 came around silently. We took it for a wounded duck when in fact they were the bait. This guy thinks like a pirate for sure. He knew exactly how and where to hit us. Mr. Bones, are our scanners up yet? I need to know who the hell this is and the specs on these ships.
Captain, the ship to our rear is gone. The ship we came here to rescue. It's gone, disappeared.
Is it cloaked or gone? Don't let it fool you, Mr. Bones. Keep that rear deflector up.
Otherwise, you would have dropped it and doubled the side deflectors, wouldn't you? Is that what you would have done?
Yes. I'm fighting a fight here by second-guessing every move I would normally make first. Then trying to assess a safe alternative just in case our time-traveling friend has something else in mind. The move would have left us open from the stern, but we would have kept moving, not giving them anything to shoot at. Status on the targeting systems.
First strike was effective, but there are 3 enemy ships. We would have been at the bottom of the ocean right now if we wouldn't have left the area and angled that rear deflector.
Well, thank heaven for your collywobbles. Shields at 60% and holding. The other 2 ships...
Wait. Status, Mr. Bones.
Yes, sir. Confirmed. Bombing is stopped.
What is it, Jack?
Incoming hail, Captain. Connecting you with Annette.
Go ahead, Annette.
Communique from the enemy ship, sir. It's a request to discuss the terms of our surrender.
It seems as though we're doomed to repeat history no matter what we do, Jack.
Captain, you know what will happen if we do.
Jack. Ship to our stern. Does it look like the Flying Dutchman?
Yes, but it couldn't have because...
I know. Maybe it was the Angel Slayer.
Same message, Captain. They wish to discuss the terms of our surrender.
Weapon status.
Weapons still non-functional, Captain. Engines now offline.
What?
Weapons inactive. The network is down.
How is that possible?
Our saboteur, Captain?
Our saboteur. Perhaps.
Saboteur? A spy on board?
Communications.
Yes, Captain.
Inform them. We request their terms for surrender.
Cam, are you sure?
Do it. Before I change my mind.
You can't do that, Captain. You know what will happen.
Weapons still non-functional, sir. Engines are now offline.
The game has changed, Jack. But this time, I have a plan.
Oh, God, not another one. Look how this one turned out. Good Lord, we're done for. Good thing I made that will out. Not that it will do any good, of course, because they'll never find the bodies or the will. We'll all be at the bottom of the ocean. I wonder if I still have that life raft in my stateroom.
Our after show, seen immediately after Dead and Buried Treasures ends. Captain Calico Drake and series creator Eric Sprouse take short calls for up to an hour, answering questions about the series or whatever's on your mind about the Swashbuckler's haunt, the club, convention appearances, and much more. That's our after show, The Pirate's Booty, taking your booty calls till the wee hours of the morning, immediately following Dead and Buried Treasures on most affiliates.
Professor Gertie.
Wait.
Professor Gertie.
Yes, Calico. Wait, I didn't swallow.
I know. That's what she said. Oh my god, John.
Every pirate loves dead and buried treasures, but how do you tell if it's a new show or a rerun? Easy. Like buried treasure, if you see this logo before the show begins, it's a brand new show. If not, it's a rerun. It's that simple, mateys. Look, new, not. New, not. New, not. Or, if you join a show late after it started, look at our Facebook page for the weekend. If you see the logo there, we be presenting ye with a new show for sure. In fact, it's what you call certified fresh, complete with a tomato kersplat next to it. Isn't that what you kids look for nowadays? Pictures? Don't know what lunatic came up with that one, but a tomato somehow equals fresh, but a splat sometimes equals the movie we're hosting. It's that simple. And now, back to Calico Drake and his group of miscreants.